Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today, as it is going to be two great bots taking each other on. We are on the map, the Gresvin, not the Gresvin, the AI edition. And yeah, we have got in the top left a bit of a hero. It's VeTerran. I say just a hero because it seems not to be as focused on one strategy as other bots are. It seems VeTerran seems more of like a general Terran bot. Now taking on VeTerran is the master of battle cruisers, but also defense. It is going to be BenBotBC. The BC in its name standing for Battle Cruiser. If you had to guess, who knows? Maybe it stands for like butter croissant or something. Who knows? But I think it's safe to say it stands for Battle Cruiser. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far into this one, make sure to go ahead and click that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below saying more bots if you want to see more of these bot games. I enjoy casting them, that's for sure. And big thanks to everyone that has recently subscribed and shares the channel and everything like that, as we did just hit 10,000 subscribers, which is very darn cool. And so thanks so much to everyone who's followed the channel. Been on YouTube for a while now, and just in the past couple years have hit my groove with doing these bot games after Alpha Star and whatnot. And commentating is something I really enjoy. So, with that said, thanks so much for tuning in, and on with the show. And as this game gets started, we've got a little bit of Reaper shenanigans, it looks like, as from VeTerran, we've got a double Rax opener, so going to be pressuring BenBot a little bit. I do think BenBot probably has the stuff it takes to defend this without too much worry, but the reason why I've had this replay sitting on my desktop for a while now, and I've been afraid to click it. And so I eventually did, and I think we're going to see why that is as this game goes on. We have a Reaper almost go down. That would have been a nice pickoff for BenBot. However, VeTerran keeps that alive. We'll see if that Reaper can get too much. It seems to be afraid to jump up there. I do wonder why that is, why it isn't jumping up, as like there's no reason why it wouldn't want to, unless it has some sort of memory programming, it seems, to maybe where those Marines were. Maybe it's thinking, right, there's two Marines up there. If VeTerran keeps track of that, I have no idea if it does. Maybe it's just waiting for its other Reaper and it's not that complicated. Looks like that one scouting SCV will go down, but all in all, VeTerran not getting too much done with these Reapers. Now it decides to go on in, so yeah, I wonder if it was just waiting for its Reaper friends, and we see these Reapers now going to engage into these Marines. That's 4 Marines against 3 Reapers. However, the Reapers don't have as much of a killer's instinct, and they're actually quite injured. A Hellion's about to pop out, so those Reapers will want to get on out of here as soon as they can. Yeah, the Hellion's out, and so are the Reapers. Actually, they make some bad decisions there. One tries to toss up a grenade, and it does not have success there as they all go down. So BenBot passes the Reaper test, as VeTerran was not able to get an easy kill with that. You must imagine on the ladder of all the lower tier bots that probably kills for VeTerran, just simple Reaper rushes. And yeah, now we do see BenBot able to just macro up behind this. VeTerran is getting up a command center of its own, but it is later than that of its opponent. That's what investing into 4 Reapers and double Rax early on gets you. A bit of a worse economy. And yeah, BenBot should just be fine as this game goes on. You'll have to forgive me as I go ahead and crack a V8. I was planning on drinking a decaf coffee while casting this, as has become a nice nightly routine. Unfortunately, I'm out of paper cups to use in this hotel room. Now we have got Drilling Claws finishing up for, well, just starting up for BenBot, pardon me. So that's a cool trait for the Widowmines. Widowmines, they will be invisible while they're reloading when they've got that research, so that makes the Drilling Claws upgrade a lot more appealing. for those of you that don't follow StarCraft 2 too closely or keep as up to date on the updates, or maybe you just play Protoss or something, and you, well, I mean, if you're Protoss, you probably think about Widow Mines more often than most. But anyway, Widow Mines now, their base version, they are not detectable, or they are not invisible when after they've fired, so while they're recharging. It's a bit of a nerf to them. Seems like a pretty reasonable nerf. So that's just why BenBot's getting that, which means then VeTerran will have to use detection to deal with these mines at some point, although VeTerran does have a Raven out. We'll see if it's going to be able to keep those Ravens alive, as eventually I'm sure BenBot may be looking to Yamato cannon those. And let's see here. We have got Battlecruiser on the way, so that's going to be pretty early for BenBot. We'll see how much success that's going to have being aggressive. VeTerran is a Terran bot that has gone the distance against BenBot with these mass battle cruisers, as Thors are actually a pretty good answer to the BCs en masse, and we just so happen that VeTerran's already making one of those, so this game is setting to heat up to battle cruisers versus Thors, potentially an epic match. We've got Infernal Pre-Igniter on the way now for BenBot, so getting all the upgrades going. +1 armor is on the way for both sides. That will be important. The plus attack and armor is very important for both battle cruisers and Thors. I think the Thors benefit from it a little bit more. Like +3 Thors just are so good with the anti-air. We do have a second armory going up for BenBot though, so it is going to be looking to get a bit of an upgrade lead with that finishing up potentially. We've got a third base just finishing up for VeTerran. BenBot has finished its up and is floating it over to a location. Also setting up some refineries at this location, interestingly enough, so the command center kind of is floating towards the wrong base, it looks like, for BenBot, as BenBot's like, yeah, build these refineries for this base, and then it's like, wait, something's wrong here. The command center is going to the wrong base. I think we can assume though that this other command center will claim that other spot. That is a bit funny for BenBot though. I do wonder what's going on there. Just the little things. And now let's see, we've got Interference Matrix being researched for BenBot, which will potentially help out. I'm not sure how many Ravens it's going to make though. We see now the fourth base still building for BenBot. VeTerran just making Marines, getting Combat Shield, getting up its own gases as both these Terrans are having their economy grow. We do have that speed mining in full effect for both of these bots as well. The bot mining is actually probably the biggest advantage bots have when it comes to being against human players, in that they just inherently have like a 7% additional mining rate because of the worker acceleration trick. Basically, they just kind of spam click on the ground utilizing the SCV acceleration, which means you can move the workers faster. I do kind of wonder if bots implement that when it comes to their scouting, or if it's possible to do that or not. Maybe not, because the workers just benefit from increased acceleration with the spam clicking, whereas it's just one constant trip, so it probably isn't a thing, now that I think about it, off the top of my head. But who knows, maybe it is. Anyway, it looks like we do have BenBot moving out for a bit of an attack. BenBot really is having a bit of a brain fart this game, though, as it builds another command center, as it also goes in for this attack. Gonna drop a Yamato cannon, kill off the Cyclone. This BC should be able to get away no problem from the danger. Interference Matrix also getting used on a Banshee as these two bots are skirmishing. VeTerran does have Blue Flame on its own Hellions, though, so a bit of mech from both sides. And then BenBot, yeah, just happily mining on its fourth base. VeTerran did get up its own fourth base now, though. And it really is bizarre that BenBot has not taken this fifth base location. Something went wrong in the programming of BenBot here. Just building those refineries, and then the SCVs doing other things. We do have the tanks for VeTerran looking to push on in. It seems to be losing the air battle for now, as there's Vikings in the sky for BenBot. Marines are going to try and hold the battle cruisers at bay for now. They'll do a decent enough job buffering with Medivacs supporting them. The Thor coming in, dealing some big damage. We do, of course, have that strong defensive position for BenBot, though, to hold this natural base. Bunker, Widow Mines en masse. These Marines are heading into a killing field, and the tanks are sieging up, so the bunker may potentially go down. VeTerran is committing a lot to this attack, but it is a strong one. Widow Mines are starting to go off. There's a scan to see some of these mines, and the push is actually making it further than I thought it would, honestly. However, the Thor is being evacuated now, a little bit preemptively, dare I say, but better early than dead when it comes to Thor evacuation. So with that bunker picking off some of VeTerran's units, most of the Marines, the anti-air is gone. That's going to allow BenBot to secure up this location. I mean, BenBot took some small losses, a bit of a disruption to its economy, as we do actually have a push on the bottom left side. Pardon me for missing a bit of that. Tanks are shelling away at each other. SCVs are actually, unfortunately, a little too close to that tank. It's one of those funny situations. The tanks can't shoot each other, but VeTerran's tank can shoot the SCVs of BenBot. A battle cruiser will end that fight, though, as the tank will be cleaned on up. And let's see, still VeTerran just being aggressive as ever. Meanwhile, BenBot floating over a base to take a 5th base. Still derping out here with not taking this location. I wonder if BenBot, in its mind, thinks that that base is already taken or something. It does make you wonder. And we'll see if any of the other bots take it. Well, if any bot takes it at this point in the game. Let's see here. We do have a planetary building at that location, so it's going to be nice and secure. I like how BenBot does that for its outer bases. VeTerran is still currently on 4 bases, just pushing into its opponent, maintaining a bit of a supply lead, trying to break this location. The battle cruisers for BenBot are heading back home to be repaired, and now they're looking to push on in the Marines for VeTerran. I mean, they're microed quite nicely. However, they're not going to save this tank, it looks like, but maybe these 2 Thors coming on in will. The Marines are stimming forward to avoid that tank fire. Yamato Cannon kills the Cyclone. Marines are buffering, so now VeTerran's tanks have gone a little bit more forward. They're not really shooting too much, though, and the Thors are kind of getting distracted by a single Viking here. That's not good. The tanks are getting cleaned up. Both bots are still expanding their economy. We have BenBot saying tag refinery killed. I guess it lost a refinery somewhere in there, and the space does eventually get taken, funnily enough. I guess those 2 refineries got killed. I don't know what's going on there. So VeTerran's trying to gain some ground. These Thors will be prime Yamato Cannon targets, though, which will be problematic. The current unit count is, I mean, 3 Thors to 3 BCs, so that's fairly even. We see the Thors get picked up and the medivacs taken to the repair bay. That is VeTerran's base, but that does mean these tanks are once again unsupported. VeTerran loves mass siege tanks, but it does not have the support for them right now, as the Thors are just probably heading back home to get repaired. Most of them. Where are they? The Starcraft 2 engine's kind of funny. Sometimes you're like, click on the Thor, show me where it is. And then the screen doesn't actually pan to it. And the answer is the Thors are stuck inside this mineral line. Oh no, VeTerran. That is terrible. This is something we don't see too much from top-level bots, but we're actually having quite a serious derp by VeTerran, as these Thors are caught inside the base. I don't know if it's it's just the turret placement for VeTerran, and the fact that the Thors were dropped here. I don't think this is something VeTerran encounters often, but that is a lot of dead supply just trapped on in there. We'll see if they eventually get broken out. I mean, I don't think they're going to get out when the mining's done either, because the minerals aren't the thing that's blocking them. And so I think these Thors will just sit here until BenBot potentially breaks through to that location. That does mean supplies are going to be deceiving here. VeTerran's trying to fight with units that will never come. The reinforcement shall never join. This one Thor is on his own, and if this Thor gets too injured, it may actually drop in that position too. We do have VeTerran making its own battle cruiser, but it's drastically outnumbered in the skies. It is trying to push forward, though. But yeah, that battle cruiser is going to want to get on out of there, and oh, it does teleport out, just barely escaping there. Where did that BC go? I honestly thought it was dead with that Yamato cannon, but the timing was just so close. The 2 Thors are coming on in, though. They're going to start killing off that siege tank. That's big. We'll see if they stick around long enough to be able to kill off this base or not. Meanwhile, both these bots are still on a pretty strong economy. We'll see if any more get taken. There's one going up for VeTerran. BenBot, it's got this location up now. Looks like this command center is burning. A Thor gets picked up into a medivac, but the medivac's kind of missing the memo of going on home. Now both of these medivacs are just hanging out here. I believe this is, a bit of another derp by VeTerran. I'm not sure why it's just keeping these Thors here. It looks like a battle cruiser came back to be repaired. And as veterans units are all grouping up here with a bit of a glitch, unfortunately, these two VCs, I'm wondering if they're not going home because they don't have a position to land or something. I don't think that would be the case, because the Starcraft engine usually tries to drop, but maybe there's a limit on how many Thors veteran can have back home at the repair location or something, because these guys, they are just popping a squat. And yeah, the Medivacs seem to have almost forgot they have Thors in them, which is like forgetting you have a $500 bill in your pocket. BenBot's now getting counter-aggressive with its battle cruisers and pushing across the map. These two Medivacs are probably just going to be dead meat. I do kind of wonder what's going on there, as they do just perish. Meanwhile, these two Thors, or these three Thors, pardon me, are still stuck here. It looks like one Medivac is moving out to try and support some of its units. It's interesting to see how they're assigned. Yeah, I wonder if it was that the Medivac got prompted to heal a Marine or something and that pulled it out, but I feel like that would be a bug we'd have seen from Veteran prior to this. One BC is going to try and go toe-to-toe, or one Thor is going to try and go toe-to-toe with a few battle cruisers. It looks like it will get saved, and this one actually is being pulled back to a different repair location, which I'll say is important, as that one is kind of full. So it's good to see not all of Veteran's units maybe getting stuck. We have a base floating over for BenBot trying to take this location. Ignoring this one, BenBot is being a little funny with its base taking today. Meanwhile, we've still got constant trades going on, but things are getting much better for Veteran as BenBot is actually, or things are getting much better for BenBot as Veteran is down 50 supply. Its trades are not as good. The BCs for BenBot are taking great trades. The Thor is really the only thing for Veteran that kills them. Are vastly overcommitted. We do have Veteran having a battle cruiser try and chase Vikings. That's a futile effort. This one is actually on cooldown for teleport, so it's probably going to die. A Cyclone can maybe kill a Viking, but that BC just dies. At least they're getting Yamato Cannon now for the Blue Terran, but we actually see another Thor get picked up, and then it is just being left there. Now it's being kind of just chased back. I don't think it's actually got a place in mind. It does eventually end up boosting and dropping the Thor, so that's so weird how they're just hanging out for a bit of time, but then the behavior to actually repair this seems to be there. So that, yeah, that's very bizarre behavior. I wonder why those BCs are sticking around. You can imagine the programming behind this to be like, all right, so you program the battle cruiser or the Thor so it gets lifted up and retreats, but then for some reason it's sticking around. I don't envy these bot authors when it comes to having a debug. Still though, Veteran is taking much worse trades. It's a highly aggressive bot. That means that it doesn't really just sit back and build up to 200 supply. BenBot is just taking some really great trades here. Veteran is still trying to push on in, but yeah, I mean, 3 Thors being stuck in here is a big problem. And unless BenBot breaks through this location and kind of releases the terror upon itself, it's just going to have an inherent advantage in this game. Cyclones lack Magfield Accelerator for Veteran, but yeah, I'm curious to see if we see that get added on. Upgrades are still rolling for Veteran as well, as it's got worse upgrades than its opponents. We're seeing Yamato Cannons kill Thors. The Blue Terran's army is just kind of melting before all of these BCs. Not a single battle cruiser has died this game just yet. Of course, the BCs are being constantly repaired, which does cost money for Veteran. Something we actually realized gets added to the resources loss tab, BenBot, pardon me, for BenBot. When a repaired unit actually dies, someone pointed out in the comments with a planetary that one game. So that's actually very cool to see. So we can potentially see a resources loss jump for BenBot if these BCs ever die, but that's a big if at this point without a single one dying, so they're just getting a ridiculous KD. Marines won't kill them because they'll just teleport away. And the Thors, they're just desperately watching this fight right now. We see an attempt to take this base for Veteran on the bottom side of the map, but BenBot's looking to push into that. There's still this location up here that can be expanded to. The red Terran bot is building up much more resources than its opponent, though. As this fight continues on, it's like Veteran is going to try and retake this location. The Thor is coming forward into the tanks. It's not going to make it, though, as tanks deal a lot of damage to Thors with their massive extra damage to armored. 85 damage a shot to armored. That's a Thor. Is a lot. +3 attack upgrades are very important. BenBot hasn't really been losing too much compared to its opponent, so time does seem to be on the red Terran side as this game goes on. Marines are running all over the place, shooting stuff with their guns, but then there's a bunch of BCs chasing them. These 3 Thors still hanging out in here. One has 5 kills, one has 4. I mean, BenBot is just smartly avoiding those Thors for now. Tanks do seem to be shutting down this counter harassment of VeTerran, as there's a bit of an artillery war going on here. Looks like battle cruisers are starting to move forward for BenBot. The Thors are still stuck in this repair location for now, and all of a sudden, hey, one's actually getting a shot off on a BC. That's very important. Okay. So far, BenBot hasn't pushed too far in, but VeTerran is starting to lose out in the supply. Hellion's even harassing this northern location. BenBot's got plenty of income, got more workers than its opponent. These 3 Thors, I think, really did just cripple VeTerran, and VeTerran even just having another BC or another Thor just died in medevac. It's funnily enough, it almost seems to be human that it's off its game today. Yeah, with this game anyway, we've got the Thors just itching to get out of there, but I don't think they ever will, or not till it's too late, as VeTerran is starting to fall down more on the supply. So I think I'm just going to fast forward a little bit here. Tanks still shelling away at each other. The BCs are coming on in, and the Thors just chase them away. They say, "Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave." As BenBot's BCs are very, very keen to run away. The Thors are holding on for VeTerran for now. And they are kind of just zoning everything out. And I'm wondering if these 3 Thors are the reason why I've been afraid to click on this replay. Potentially creating a bit of a goofy situation. As we see, yeah, they just zone out those Vikings, chase them away. VeTerran is really down on money, down on bases, but still holding on with these 3 Thors. BenBot is starting to mine out more of the map, though. This location is still up for grabs. We'll see if that gets taken or not. For now, though, BenBot just pushes on in. BenBot is being very quick with its teleport out. It seems that its BCs are taking like 1 shot, then retreating. We've got VeTerran going for another counter tank attack. Scans are getting dropped all over the place. VeTerran really is a scrapper as it continues to fight. It's down a massive amount of resources compared to its opponent, however, but yeah, look at these BCs. Like, they're taking like 1 or 2 damage in this game, and then they're just instantly teleporting. It seems that something's like a little bit off with this game, and I don't know why. It definitely is an interesting match we're having here, though. But yeah, like the BC taking like 1 damage then teleporting is not normal. So I wonder what's triggering that, and then we've got VeTerran's weird Thor behavior. So I kind of wonder if there's something a little more going on this game. Because yeah, like we see that. Maybe it is just BenBot's programming, like it sees a certain amount of units, or the Ravens potentially is what's making them teleport away earlier. Maybe that's it. The presence of a Raven is forcing BenBot to run away because it knows an interference matrix can lead to a dead BC, as it's one of the few ways to get a guaranteed kill on a battle cruiser. We've still got the blue Terran pushing on in here. Marines are getting close to this planetary, but it's really just all about the tanks. The 3 Thors are still hanging out back here as this base starts to mine out. They really are the slackers on this group project. VeTerran somehow has maxed out, though, which is very impressive considering its situation. Tanks are shelling away on this base. I honestly thought we were just starting to see the end of VeTerran in this match. Let's see, Thor is shooting from the ground into the air. Battle cruisers are starting to take a bit of shots from the Thors, but they're cleaning up most of the tanks, so they're doing their job for BenBot. Resources lost is still very in favor of the red Terran bot, with 26k to 50k, almost a 2-to-1 ratio. That isn't really including the battle cruisers that haven't died. We actually have seen one die, though. Maybe the only one to die this game, we'll see. Thors are trying to break this planetary location, and it looks like they will succeed. Thors and tanks are pretty good at killing off planetaries. BenBot still has plenty of bases to spare, although it really has mule mined out a lot of its bases. So it is going to want to take another one soon. That's actually crazy how many more minerals BenBot has mined than VeTerran. Thors are stepping forward for the blue Terran. They're starting to shell away on those BCs, and the BCs are scrapping. A Yamato cannon or two should kill these Thors. Looks like that one Thor will be saved. However, there's no medivac for the second one, so that's going to go down. VeTerran is just pushing on in, trying to kill another base. This base actually a fresher one, so it's quite important that BenBot holds on to this. Well, I'll say it's important. It's not like it's going to lose the game at this point, I'd say. Crazier things have happened in bot games. We'll see, though. Looks like VeTerran is taking another base to keep its economy going, as it is pretty much mined out on most of its locations, too, as it's got a lot of unemployed SCVs running all over the place. Really, a lot of them. Some transferring south, some transferring north. None of them really know what's the best place to be. This base has yet to be taken. And let's see, BenBot is pushing back once more, rebuilding a command center to take that location, it seems. That's very important. And looks like VeTerran is going to try and secure up this location. That could keep it going in this game for longer. And BenBot will run out of money sooner than its opponent will run out of money to mine, but it does have a ginormous bank. Thors on the ground are shelling away. BC's taking damage. They are teleporting so quickly. I can only assume that's a programming move by BenBot's dev with the presence of a Raven. So I think this Raven is actually what's kind of keeping VeTerran in this game, if I had to guess. That's the only logical thing. We do see another Thor get picked up and killed off, though, as those medivacs aren't retreating properly. This planetary getting some nice shots off, killing off some of these Marines as they get too close. Looks like another command center is going up for VeTerran, so it actually will take this location. And if VeTerran can mine all of this, I mean, that's like an extra, I don't know, like 8k or something at that base. That will help even up the overall available resources to both sides. Battle cruisers are moving forward. They go to the worst possible spot, though, as VeTerran shoots away on them and chases them back. Currently, we've only seen one BC for BenBot die, however. Thors on the ground, trapped in that location, are basically just the best turret known to man for VeTerran. Just zoning out all those air units. We do have BenBot really running out of money, as this location got killed off. VeTerran's the one that's taking this location, and so we are going to see BenBot start to burn through that bank soon enough. And I really thought VeTerran was dead this game, and it may still be, but there is a universe where it mines all of this base out, and it mines all of this base out, and then it takes some decent trades. And I will say the resources lost are going to be very deceiving this game, as of course the resources spent into the BCs isn't counted, I don't believe, until the battlecruiser actually dies, if it dies at all. Okay, so Marines still skirmishing with BCs. Probably not the best thing, though, for VeTerran, as this game's been going on. That one Raven is being repaired, so the BCs all of a sudden are not being as cowardly. So they're going to go clean up that tank. The Raven is all of a sudden present, though, showing on up. We'll see if that makes the BCs retreat, and that will give us insight to the programming here. There is a Raven present. It's not super present, but yeah, look at that. BenBot, I get the feeling that the BCs retreat when the Raven's near. Although these guys are just retreating and the Raven's kind of far away, so maybe my theory is just a crackpot theory and there's more to it this game. But yeah, that is interesting how quickly BenBot is making its BCs retreat. It could just be an overall design choice by the bot author. Veteran's starting to go up in the money a little bit, though. It's got a shortage of gas. However, it's mining full bore on the gas at these locations, and the game's continuing on. Got a couple of Hellions and Cyclones being a pain. BenBot has yet to retake that location. It never took this location, even though it had the money to, which is a bit unfortunate because it would have prevented VeTerran from taking this location. See, Marines chasing down one BC in a very goofy fashion. Meanwhile, this attack towards the north is looking good for BenBot. If it can kill off this base, that would be important. I'll also note that this game, BenBot's not really just dumping its Yamato cannons into anything. It seems to have kind of stopped Yamato cannoning. Like, you'd think it would just Yamato cannon this turret or something else, but anyway, BenBot just taking shots and retreating for now. We see Vikings being produced, Widowmines being produced, these BCs going back to get repaired. These SCVs have a pretty chill job. Just a little bit of work, and then off to the races. Looks like another tank is still getting some damage done for VeTerran, though. Potential to kill lots of SCVs and mules here, but not for long, though, as the battle cruisers are going to come on in and take that out, adding to an 84, 85, 86 dead tank count. 8 dead Thors to 2 dead BCs. Whoa, we actually did just see a BC die. I can only assume that that was the work of this Thor. Another BC is a little bit far forward. And the Marines actually tried to dive on top of it. You got to give it to him for trying to kill it. That's the only way to really kill a battle cruiser. Like, another tank gets positioned by VeTerran. VeTerran is very good with this tank usage. Even though you wouldn't think tanks would be the best against BCs, in this case they are. BenBot is still mining a little bit, but eventually it's going to run out of money coming in, so its income will drop. Veterans will continue on for a bit longer. We did see BenBot at least take this location, so that's another couple thousand resources. Very important. Marines are shooting all over the place still, killing some Vikings. Only 2 dead BCs this game. I'll try and catch when one dies, but it's been a 32-minute game and we've only seen 2 die. So you can't blame me for not catching them all. VeTerran is still putting the pressure on its opponent. Somehow VeTerran is super duper short on gas this game, I guess because it's just making tanks constantly and repairing some of its mechanical units. So we may see VeTerran just end up with a mass Marine composition this game. Still got quite a bit of gas to mine, though. Tanks are still shelling away, trying to deal what damage they can to BenBot. I mean, BenBot has lost a good chunk of SCVs, so it is losing resources this game. It's not like it's losing nothing. 215 dead SCVs. Looks like the battle cruisers get too close to the Thors, but yeah, I will say BenBot not utilizing Yamato cannon seems to be another bit of odd behavior from the Red Terran bot. Like, if all these BCs just used Yamato cannon, they'd kill everything here, so I do think the behavior is a little bit odd this match between these bots. Of course, both of them making mistakes here. Looks like another command center being abandoned as BenBot decides to pull that away. We've got another push towards this planetary as VeTerran continuously tries to break this location. Still a bit of money up for grabs here. We'll see who ends up claiming it. Thor is still desperately trying to get out. They're all just hanging out. And let's take a look here. Mass Marines on the ground, still not really exactly battlecruiser slayers. But if they run and retreat by their Thor friends, they may be fine. And then this constant assault on this planetary here, but they really need a tank to back them up. VeTerran is still making lots more of those. BenBot's still got an income from mule money. It's out of gas income, though. That could be important later on. It's actually trying to get what I think is probably its last refinery up, but VeTerran keeps attacking it. The bank continues to grow for VeTerran as it's just got so much more minerals coming in, I guess, than its gas. Which really makes me wonder where all its gas going. I didn't know tanks were that gas intensive, but I suppose they are. We've got BenBot giving us a chat tag saying stuck SCV, if only there was a tag for stuck Thors for VeTerran. As this skirmish still continues on, Marines fighting battle cruisers all over the place. Mass impact going on down by VeTerran. These Marines are kind of just being slaughtered now by the battle cruisers, though, as they got a little bit cornered. Some of the BCs are retreating, just upon taking any damage, it looks like, but they're still killing lots. VeTerran losing lots and lots of Marines. 243 dead this game. That refinery dies once more, though, so BenBot's not really having any more gas come in, barely any minerals. Just these mules are bringing in the last of the money. VeTerran's got this location up here. But even the blue Terran is going to start to run out of mineral income soon, but then it's not really going to... I mean, it's got a decent mineral bank itself. So this game is closer than you think. We see just VeTerran's ever-constant presence on the map, netting it some more SCV kills. Gonna deny the last little bit of mining here, it seems, for now, anyway. BenBot is starting to eat into its bank, losing things like Vikings, losing things like Marines and SCVs. Turret fail test skip. I do kind of wonder what that means. Looks like this command center may burn down. That's another big loss for BenBot if it does. Marines, they're shooting. It may get repaired, though. It's running. I don't know if it's got the support it needs, though. There's just one Thor on the ground, as the other three are hanging back still. Marines showing us that micro of VeTerran, just avoiding the battle cruisers. There's a reason why bots just have constant engagements. It's because their units are always retreating. They're never doing the default pathing forward when they deem an engagement unacceptable. It's like VeTerran's still harassing this location a little bit, getting chased back towards the north. It's now done mining at this location. Looks like it's done mining at this location, so VeTerran officially out of minerals it can bring in, and the map is running out of money here. And we are now in the latter half of this game. So VeTerran, it's still got a bit of gas to mine, but it's really short on minerals. Unfortunately, VeTerran is having a hardcore derp in which it's dumping money into SCVs when clearly it doesn't need any more. So there's no check from the bot author to see if it needs more SCVs because there's no money left on the map. So if these SCVs keep dying, that will be problematic for VeTerran, and it could just be a money sink till it runs out of money. BenBot still has a decent chunk of change in its pockets. It's got Vikings and battle cruisers flying all over the place. It really does seem that time is going to be on VeTerran's side. The Thors, though, are still just hanging out back here. It's one Marine trying to kill an SCV with +3 armor. Although the Marine's got +3 guns, so... and then it gets chased off. Oh, and actually deleted. These bots are still skirmishing all over the place, fighting, or VeTerran at least fighting with what little resources it has. BenBot still has a decent bank to its name. Resources lost, 85k to 57,000 as this game is continuing on. I don't see how VeTerran's going to win this one. I thought it was dead 20 minutes ago, but it held on, and it loses another Thor. That's something that it can't really afford to replace too easily. Looks like we are going to see VeTerran really start to run out of money here. And I'm starting to think that I know where this game is going now. I think it is all going to come back to these 3 Thors. I got a feeling, guys. And we're just going to have to wait and see. I might fast forward a little bit here through this constant engagement. BC is slowly pushing VeTerran back. VeTerran will eventually run out of minerals. It's only got 1,000 left to burn. And then it will be 100% broke here. The Thors are still shooting the BCs, though, chasing them away. As the Marines are pushed back. Vikings even landing for BenBot. That's cool to see. Gonna try and clear out this base towards the top right. I mean, it's not like VeTerran is mining any more minerals there, as it's completely out of resources. The Thors, though, they're still shooting the battle cruisers. And I'm wondering if the Thor-stuck strategy is going to be the new meta of this game. As their high anti-air armor is just shooting everything away. Ooh, this could be VeTerran's last stand. Now, mass SCVs are moving towards the north. I'm not sure what they're looking for. They're looking for gold where there is none. And so they just end up running away. Meanwhile, the Thors are still shooting away. Things are changing, though, as they are actually all going to go down as BenBot commits to a big attack. And the one Thor finally gets free, but it dies. And okay, there goes my theory for this game. I was under the impression that we were going to see those Thors just constantly push the BCs back, but it's good to see that BenBot does have the behavior to eventually push through and actually win the game, so that's good to see. The lack of Yamato cannons disturbed me a little bit. It does look like that BenBot is going to be the victor of this match. However, I know there is draw stipulations in these bot games, so maybe that's something we ought to look out for here. As Command Center goes up, Vikings go down, Command Center goes down, Vikings go up. BenBot is beginning the process of cleaning out its opponent. And I do love how VeTerran and BenBot have these ridiculous games all the time. Like, these two bots are fighting on the ladder every day. Thank goodness they're not humans, because they don't get tired of it. Let's see, SCV's running all over the place looking for money where there is none. This map is mined out, bar maybe a few Vespine geysers. But yeah, looks like that BenBot is just looking to clean everything up. And VeTerran may be running out of stuff here. I think VeTerran's just playing for the draw. What does it have? 4 SCVs right now. We're just waiting to see if BenBot will clean everything up in a timely enough manner. The game expires, I believe, at the 1 hour mark, so that would be why we'd have a draw. As, yeah, BenBot seems to have found some sort of anomaly on the ground to fixate on, as it just parks all its stuff here. And is this how the game's gonna end? With BenBot choking in the final bit? BenBot, wake up! You don't need to keep your units here. We had a similar game like this, in which, but Deimos the other day. But eventually Deimos came around and was like, no, I need to actually win the game. It does look like that BenBot may actually just be letting this one go to a draw, though, after all this. I think we can declare BenBot the de facto winner of this one, but in the eyes of the ladder, the bot ladder, in the contest, this is a match that will be a draw. And yeah, that's going to be the case. BenBot kind of choked after all that. It was a slow and brutal game. It did have a win by what we all consider a winning standards, but it let the game go to a tie as it stopped killing things. For some reason, it picked this spot to focus on. I don't know why. It knew there was stuff up here, but it just, yeah. I do kind of wonder what happened there. Maybe the bot authors can chime in as to some of the weirdness of this game. Ladies and gentlemen, if you watched all the way to the end of this video and you're not subscribed, I'll say, what are you doing? Because clearly you enjoy this content. And if you want to see more, there's plenty of it on the channel and plenty more to come. So go ahead, subscribe, leave a like on this video if you haven't already, and a comment saying more bots if you want more crazy, long, convoluted games like this. I did cast this one kind of as a 10K subscriber special, so thanks so much to everyone for supporting the channel that way. And if you do want to support the channel, you can become a YouTube member, as that is a great way to support. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning in.